Hey guys, we're just getting that breaking news as you are right now, just hearing that the federal judge has blocked the administration's effort to drop this on Monday. Obviously, Border Patrol agents and Texas DPS, this is going to be welcome news to them, but really all it's going to do is kick the can down the road. Title 42 is going to have to drop at some point in the future, but that's just not going to be on Monday. But even with Title 42 in place, we've still seen an explosion in numbers. We just had more than well over 230,000 migrant apprehensions this last year in April, the highest in DHS history. We had more than 200,000 the month before. We've had more than 1.3 million illegal crossings since the start of the fiscal year on October 1st. So even with Title 42 in place, we've seen an explosion in numbers. And what this means now is, for certain countries, for certain demographics, the U.S. government will still be able to expel them back to Mexico, meaning that, we've shown this video where once people come across and they are detained by Border Patrol, rather than having to take them into a processing center and do paperwork for hours, they're able to essentially just put them right back onto a bus, drop them off at the port of entry, and expel them back into Mexico. The whole process can take less than an hour. They've used it more than 1.7 million times since March of 2020, that being both the Trump administration and the Biden administration. But I can tell you, frontline border agents, they will be happy to hear this news, because I've been texting with them for the past several weeks, ever since news came down that they were planning to get rid of this on May 23rd. And they were basically saying, buckle up, because it's going to be total anarchy and chaos down here at the border. DHS's own projections were saying upwards of 18,000 illegal crossings a day could have happened if Title 42 were to drop. You do the math on that, that's about 540,000 crossings in one single month, more than 500,000. And just to put that in perspective, that would be more than double what we just saw last month in April, which was the highest in U.S. history. So probably a little bit of a sigh of relief for border agents and Texas law enforcement, but not too much, because again, these numbers have been exploding even with Title 42 in place. You don't have well over 200,000 apprehensions at the border month after month without there being a serious surge at the border. And we've been showing the video all day long. We keep getting these massive groups of 150 to 200 crossing every single day. So what does this mean big picture? It means that the administration cannot get rid of Title 42 on Monday as planned. They have to keep enforcing it while this litigation plays out. We'll send it back to you.
Bill, when you say that 1.7 million since 2020 have been sent back because of Title 42, how do they make a decision that someone should be sent back based on Title 42? We weren't even COVID testing these people. So how did they make that decision?
Well, really, it depends what country they're from and what their demographic is. So it really started off with those Northern Triangle countries. It would be Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. At the time, we had agreements with those countries that we would repatriate the migrants back to those countries. We would put them on flights, or we would just kick them back to Mexico. We would do the same thing with Mexicans. Then along the way, once the administrations changed, deals changed with countries in the Northern Triangle. Nicaraguans, for instance, they're, for the most part, just released once they're encountered by Border Patrol, because for the most part, they won't take their citizens back unless they have a passport. Cubans are mass released. We don't enforce Title 42 with them. Venezuelans are released. We don't have a Title 42 agreement with them. And one of the criticisms has been that the Biden administration can just, put them on a bus and send them back to Mexico. But for some of these demographics, they have preferred to put them on an airplane and send them back. They're called repatriation flights. And, the Border Patrol Union says if we really want to enforce Title 42 across the board, just kick everybody back to Mexico. The administration hasn't done that. They've preferred to try to fly some people back. Right. And when those host countries don't cooperate, they can't do it.
Okay, thank you very much, Bill Maloogian. The question that I'm getting at, Lawrence, is the fact that the decision to send people back to the original country has nothing to do with 42. They're saying 42, but if Nicaragua won't take them back, then what does it matter if Title 42 or not? So it seems that 42 is being used in some cases, but not others.
Well, I would say this, just based on the reporting I've done at the border, 42 has been used as a Band-Aid. It's not going to fix the mass problem that's at the border. On another note, and the judge did the Biden administration a favor here, right here. But number two, as a result of the judge making this decision, a lot of women and children are going to be placed in danger coming across the border because a lot of the folks keep asking, well, why are they bringing the children across the border? Because it's a ticket. I mean, they know that they can get across and that this is why you don't see a lot of people running away at the border. Most of the runners that you see at the border are single adult males because they realize that they can't come into the country under Title 42. So this is going to put our Border Patrol agents yet again in a bad position. But again, it's going to put these kids and these women in a bad position as well. Joe Biden needs to understand this. This is going to be a terrible issue for those Democrats that are on the border area. They are Democrats at heart. But what they're saying is they cannot do this. They understand their voters are putting a lot of pressure on them because of this issue. And I'll just note this because I know Justin's going to hop in on this. These are Latinos, too, as well. There are over 50% of the Border Patrol agents are minority. When you look at the Texas DPS that are doing a lot of the patrol, they are a minority. When you look at those districts that are at the border, they're a minority. This is not a matter of if you hate the people and you want them to get a better life. This is about law and order and the strain of resources in those areas.
You know, Jessica, the point that Lawrence makes is a good one. How is this going to impact those Democrats who are working along the border, who are running for office?
Well, I think it's a boon on the immigration issue for Democrats at this particular moment because it gives us a few more months to listen to Democrats like Ruben Gallo, who most likely is going to challenge Kyrsten Sinema for her seat in 2024 in Arizona. And it feels like a ripe time to put together some sort of commission, like get Will Hurd. I don't know what he's doing now that he retired from Congress. He's a Republican, and like a Gallo or someone else on the border together for a bipartisan plan to do this. Because Title 42, it was a Band-Aid, and we had a very thoughtful conversation on the show yesterday about this issue where it was acknowledged that this is a health policy. Title 42 came into being because of COVID. We're moving towards a world where hopefully COVID is not something that should be running our immigration policy. What is the next step? So hopefully now we have a few months, we have the summer where there's going to be very high numbers of crossings to deal with that, and we can go into November with a clear plan.
Okay, wrap it up for us.
Well, it is a testament to how appealing our systemically racist country is that millions of non-whites want to come here. But as long as we care about immigration, it's like crime and it's like inflation, the White House won't. Because in their view, we only view these concerns because we're deplorables embracing, replacement theory. When it's all it is, and all of these things, whether it is crime or whether it's inflation or immigration, it's about process. It's about rules. It's not about people. We're a big Republicans and conservatives and libertarians. We're all about systems. We just want you to be part of the system and do it the right way. And so what's happening now, you see a lot of people painting a broad brush of this racism stuff, and this is their way of doing it here, like they did with crime and elsewhere.
Go ahead, Katie.
On the bigger issue of the systems, Bill reported earlier today that there was an American citizen who was arrested in Texas for helping to smuggle illegal immigrants across the border. Bigger picture, the longer this lawlessness goes on and the systems are disrespected and Border Patrol's mission is to process people, not to enforce the border and protect the country, that corruption will breed and it will get completely out of control and it will reach public officials, it will reach law enforcement. So there's a longer term consequence to allowing this type of lawlessness to continue, and once it's in those systems, we start looking a lot like the Mexican corruption. And that's a lot of the reason why this is happening as well. And once you get to that point, it's really difficult to go back.
And the sad part about it is that with the administration flying people into the interior of the United States, that corruption is going to spread quicker than we can imagine.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.